Flippin' Fantastic Podcast, episode 14. I'm Alicia Thingspicker.
And I'm Mo87 Official. How is everyone this week? Hope everybody's doing good.
It's been 2 weeks since we've recorded, and it feels
Yeah,
really
it's
it's
weird.
been a
I
long
know.
time since we recorded.
Yeah, I just came back from vacation, and it was very nice, if a bit loud, because there was a lot of kids there. Well, there's like
Oh, I bet.
it's just my kid's not loud, but it's my cousin has 4 kids under 4. Well, 4 and under. It's like, I mean, they're cute, but I'm glad I didn't have that many. One was enough.
The picture you sent
Um,
looked really nice with the beach.
it was very nice. So we've been to so I've talked about my sister has cancer, and last year, like, she had a
Mm-hmm.
bucket list, and she wanted to go, like, on a big, quote unquote, she wanted to go on a vacation with, like, our cousins and stuff. And a bunch more of us went last year. We went to the Outer Banks. And the Outer Banks is nice. We've been there many times before. We used to go with one of our sets of cousins. I have a lot of cousins that are
Mm-hmm.
like, I have like cousins. I'm the oldest, and then the youngest is just turned 23.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So actually, she just turned 23 on vacation. So we had cake. But so we went to the Outer Banks last night. We've been there before. I like it, but it's like, it is pretty crowded. It's a popular destination. So we went farther south this year, Topsail Island. I don't know, you're supposed to say it, Topsail Island. It's
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's a barrier island in North Carolina, but it was nice. It's a little more laid back. It's not as crowded. And it was beautiful. It was raining when we got there, but the rest of the week was beautiful. This The sun was so strong. I'm still a little red, and the tops of my arms are peeling. I mean, everybody used sunscreen. Even my youngest cousin is actually adopted. She's well, probably 100% Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pretty dark complexion, and she doesn't like to get darker, she's always like, she'll go in the water and then she'll cover herself up. But we went in the one night, and I go, oh my god, Maria, you are beet red. Her face was so red. She's like, I know.
I
She's like, I'm
hate
gonna be
sunscreen.
darker. Oh, so do
I
I.
know it's good for you, but I
Yeah.
hate how it makes my skin feel. I
Yeah.
just, ugh.
I only wear it when I have to, and you had to here. But I mean, we went out like earlier in the morning. It got like windy in the afternoon, and it felt kind of chilly if you were sitting on the beach. But earlier it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
as windy. It was weird, um, but yeah, we all got pretty burnt. But yeah, but it was nice, and it was pretty,
That's
and
good.
I love the beach. And I was super tired when I came home, and I'm still kind of tired. The pollen here is like, you know, terrible. So
Oh, gosh, I
that
bet.
doesn't help it, because it makes me congested. So I still
Hopefully it
sound
gave you a
congested.
nice hopefully it gave you a nice reset.
Yeah, it did.
That's
I
good.
haven't done anything since I came home, though. I didn't. All the pictures I took, I listed like nothing.
Mm,
I sold one thing over the weekend. I turned the store, like, I had it on vacation mode where they could still buy. Last year when
mhm.
we went away, I sold, for being on vacation mode, and for me, for my level store. I don't remember how much I sold, but I had to ship a pretty decent amount on Monday when I came back. Yesterday it was one thing for like $10. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I got to get my
Something.
butt in gear now, because that's all I've sold in over a week. So
My store is already on vacation mode.
okay,
Um,
yay!
I was so mad at myself because I even wrote down to stop sending offers, like,
Mhm.
on I think I said Sunday night, just to be
Yeah.
safe. I totally forgot, and I sent out a bunch of offers yesterday.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do before I leave, in order to avoid, like, a late tracking ding,
Yeah.
I'm going to go through and end and relist all the things I sent out offers on that
Yeah.
haven't expired by tomorrow by the time we leave.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that because I totally forgot, and I was like, "Dang it!" Um, But I've already sold 2 things and my store's already on Tom and Wave mode, so it says it doesn't have to ship till, like, a
Yeah,
week
you don't
from now, but
pay
I'm still
from
gonna ship everything tomorrow that, like, is
oh, they're
I have 3
already yeah,
things.
yeah. Yeah, I
So I
would
have
do
3
that
things
too.
that need to go out, so I'm just gonna ship it and just because, like, just in case I get bombarded with sales, I'm not gonna come back to 20 million orders to
Right,
pass.
right, yeah. I would do that too. I do you have 1 day shipping on or how many?
I have
What's your
2-day
handling?
shipping.
2 day? I have
Mhm.
I have 1. I left it on ever since like 4th quarter and I just left it. So yeah, I shut mine off like I went away Saturday. Like I left Saturday
Mhm.
morning. I shut it off for midnight Friday and then I shipped whatever sold, a couple things, but I
Yeah.
haven't sold anything. So this it kind of sucks. But hopefully I can get the bag and gear because I have tons of pictures because I didn't I
Oh, I
you're
bet.
just like sitting around, I was drinking and and sitting on the beach and relaxing and I just was like, do I feel like
Not
going
even
in and
thinking
listing
about
anything?
eBay.
No, I don't feel like going in and listing anything. So yeah.
And back to the cousin thing. What you said reminded me of my family. So on my mom's side, I have no cousins. My sister and
Hmm.
I were the only like grandchildren on that side.
Hmm.
And then on my dad's side, there's like 17 of us. I'm second oldest, and then the youngest just turned 2 last
Yeah.
year.
That
So there's
that's
like a big range of cousins.
that's like my this is my mom's side. I have like
Mhm.
so I have 3 sisters and then on my dad's side
Mhm.
there's besides us there's 4 other cousins. My dad has 2 sisters and they each had 2. And but my mom's side
Mhm.
is the ones we're like closer to and I'm the oldest and uh, mm, the one that turned 23 on vacation and I have another cousin that's the same age as her. She wasn't there. Um
Mhm.
yeah, so I was like I mean, I was already married when they were born. I was married 2 years and but yeah, so there's I think there's 14 of us. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 14. So there's some that are like the same age as me and my sisters and then some that are
Mhm.
way younger. But it's nice, but my son only has like a couple cousins.
Yeah.
Nobody had that many babies.
Yeah. Understandably.
He has more second cousins cuz of my cousins having cousins than my
Ooh.
siblings.
Sorry not to interrupt, but I was just scrolling
What?
Facebook and looks like there's a rummage sale happening and it's
Ooh.
actually starting tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I'll be able to hit it before we leave.
I love
So
rummage
maybe I'll go.
and church sales. I love rummage and church sales. That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, this last weekend was so crazy with garage sales. I filled up my car a couple of times. It was just so much stuff and I'm so
That's
happy because it like
I was
it gave me a
so
lot of
jealous
things.
scrolling everybody's like, I found this and I found that. And I was like, I wasn't even answering. And then I was like, I was here. Cause when I didn't look. I looked
Mhm.
before I left to see what was going on. There wasn't much going on Easter weekend. That wasn't the problem. It was this weekend and I didn't even look when I came home. I was so, it was like it's like an 8 hour drive, but then you stop and you eat and
Yeah, and
so you're
it's
like
a lot of work.
it's like 9 hours um and then the last like 30 minutes, my husband was like daredeviling it because we had to pick up our dog by 6 and
Oh,
the Waze was saying we would get there at 6:02, so he was like flying. We got there at 6:01. They let us have the dog. But um but yeah, I was so tired and I was up way earlier than I normally get up, you know. Um regularly.
oh, I
So
bet.
I slept like Sunday was just lazy Sunday. And then yesterday, of course, back to taking my people to doctor's appointments. And I had to get up early yesterday. And I did
Oh man.
laundry. But yeah, I was so jealous. I was like, oh. And so then I was like, there's an estate sale company that the one that I
Mhm.
love. And I was like, I wonder if he's having anything soon. He usually doesn't post until like right before. There was one last weekend. Like if I'd have got up Sunday, I could have at least got some half price stuff. I was like, oh, but I didn't. I was like, okay,
Dang
just
it.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So maybe this weekend. I haven't even looked to see if there's anything this weekend.
Yeah, I just checked the address because I recognized it, and it's actually
Uh-huh.
this older couple. They have a garage sale like 3 times a year, but they have the same stuff every time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, do I want to go? So I guess if I'm out tomorrow, I'll stop by. But
Is it
got a
their
lot of
stuff or is
glass
it
and
just
like
stuff they get?
I don't know because it's a lot of older stuff, like older like
Mhm.
metal trucks and like glass.
They
And I've
probably know
bought
what
stuff
it's
from them
worth, right?
before.
So it's too
Yeah, it's
pricey.
priced a little higher, but like maybe
Mhm.
maybe they'll have more because I didn't go the last couple times they've had the
Oh,
sale, so
okay.
maybe they have
Yeah.
more now. So I
Yeah.
might go. Depends when I'm a little overwhelmed. Like I just mentioned, and I did a little recording for my video, and I said how usually before a trip I'll get so overwhelmed or just stressed out that my eye starts twitching. Like I look and you can't see it, but I can feel it. It's like my eye will just twitch, and
I used to get that when I taught. You just
yeah,
I'd be like,
it
"Oh,
drives
there's
me
my
nuts.
stress this week."
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not super stressed. Like I'm really excited to go, but I also get
Right.
this anxiety about leaving the house. I'm a homebody. I like to stay home,
Yeah.
and just like I like to deep clean the whole house before we leave, so we come back to a nice clean house. And
Mhm.
I haven't even packed yet, and I got to make sure the cats and the dogs are already like all the stuff is ready for them because my mom's going to stop by to
Mhm.
take care of them. So I
Yeah.
gotta make sure all that's ready, and then I'm like, because right after my husband gets off work tomorrow, we're going to Omaha, so I need to be ready like right then. Anyway, so just a lot of
Uh,
stuff. I'll get through it, but
are you flying out to tomorrow? Oh, okay.
we'll be there a
I
day
didn't.
earlier than most people that I've heard are
Okay.
going.
I thought.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. You have
So Thursday will be like our
fun
day. I guess
alone, fun
they're
alone
doing a
time.
little yeah, so we're gonna go to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, we think,
Oh, cool.
Thursday night. Hell's
Do you
Kitchen in
get
Vegas, and then
do you get to hear them yelling? Is
that'd
there
be pretty
yelling
funny.
there?
Yeah. I forgot what his insults are, but there's some pretty funny ones.
Yeah, what's the one like the sandwich bread?
Idiot which
Idiot sandwich.
um but yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then I guess Thursday night they're also planning like a little meetup with everyone else because they made a separate Discord server for anyone that bought tickets.
Yeah.
So people are like trying to make a little meetup on Thursday night.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, we'll be out to eat, but maybe afterwards when we get back, because it's at the hotel we're staying at. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe we'll go down there, and whoever's down there will meet them. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And it feels like we've been waiting for this to happen for a while because it's been a few
Awesome.
months. I think we bought
Yeah.
tickets back in February.
Yeah.
So,
Came quick.
yep. So we're staying busy. I've been listing and listing. I've listed so much. There was a couple days where all I did all day was list, like 10 a.m. to like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the
That's
afternoon.
awesome.
I just listed all day, and it's
You're my
great because
hero. I can
I've had some really good sales. I've had some really good days, so it's good. You get what you
That's
put in.
I know, and I
That's the
put
key word
in
with it.
0 and I'm getting 0. I'm ready to go though. I'm going to start listing when we're done. I've got I've got a ton of I took a ton of pictures and I didn't do jack, so.
At least you can sit there and watch some Netflix or
Yeah,
something
I'm going
and
to watch
lists or
TV and
something.
do it. And then tomorrow I'm going to go back downstairs and take lots of more pictures. I'm trying to get all the pictures I have list. I have a lot of stuff to list that's ready to go.
Yeah,
Um,
and I have this video I want to do probably tonight. I still have those 2 boxes of glass negatives up here on my desk.
oh yeah, those are so
I
cool.
I have a video. I want to go through them on video. Like I have a
Yes,
video where
yes, yes.
it's just positioned right on top, and then I just
Mhm.
go through it. So I want to do that tonight. I thought I'd do it tomorrow, but I think I told my husband I'm like I want tomorrow to be as stress free as possible because
Mhm.
I'm really worried about because we have a layover in Denver. And I'm like, really, I've heard, like, I told him, I'm like, I have never been to Denver Airport as far as I know, but I've heard it's
Mhm.
big. And then he looks it up. He's like, Denver Airport is the second largest airport in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
gosh. Like, I'm a little nervous. Like, what if our next flight is like across the thing? We have to run like Home Alone style across the airport.
I
I'm
know.
a little
I've never
worried
been
about
to that
that. But
airport.
yeah, this is my first time like having to situate flights because I've gone with my parents and usually they figure out gates and all that. But now I'm an
Yeah,
adult and I got to do it and I got
I
to learn
know.
how to do it. So
My
I'm a little
husband does
worried.
all. My husband does that.
Does
No,
all the
I mean I've
logistics.
flown alone, but I've flown alone, but I've never flown. I've when I've flown alone, I've
Mhm.
only I've been able to get direct flights, which is so much better, but you can't always get it, so
Yeah. We'll have a direct flight back, but
that's
on the way
nice.
there, it's gonna
That's
be a little
nice. Yeah.
stressful. So I told him, I'm
How
like, I just
long of
want
a
tomorrow to be
flight
as
is it
stress
for you?
free. Let me
Like
look.
direct flight.
I don't think it's that long because let's see. The flight back is okay. Well, tomorrow. Okay, that's tomorrow. From wait. That's the wrong one. That's the two flight. I need the return flight. Um.
I just have no idea like how far away you are cuz like I'm coast to coast. If I went
Uh huh.
coast to coast, it's usually at least a 5-hour flight out.
Mhm.
Um and then back sometimes is a little quicker just cuz you're kind of going with the jet stream,
Actually, I'm pretty
going out.
surprised. Actually, it says on Sunday we leave at 8:45 a.m. and then we'll get to Omaha at 1:20 p.m. local though.
Yeah. Right.
So I
So
think
that
we
you
skipped two time
minus an
zones or
hour.
one. Okay, yeah.
Oh wait,
So
you're oh, I always forget.
I'm
You know,
central.
I was a geography major and I can't I can't figure out time zones.
I'm really bad at time
You're only
zones.
1 hour behind me, so it's two time because they're Pacific, right? In Las
Yep.
Vegas.
So we'll be back just after lunchtime, and then we're leaving tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. from Omaha, and then we will get in Vegas at 11:10 p.m. But there's an hour and 5 minute layover in Denver, and that's why I'm like, it's kind of pushing it because if we're, if the flight gets delayed, 'cause I heard there might be some crazy weather on Wednesday, so that's also why
Right.
I'm a little stressed out because
Oh yeah.
I'd be worried about delays and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll get it figured out. We'll get there, but uh, just learning how to be an adult and manage flights. It's probably not that big of a deal, but
Yeah, Denver's the largest in the US and what's the world largest in the
second
world?
largest in the world,
Yeah.
I think is
Yeah. Cuz it is the
what
largest in the
Connor came up with.
US. Yeah, I just was wondering what oh where's King Fahd International in Saudi Arabia is the largest. I know Denver's just like spread out.
Yeah, I told my tattoo artist because I went and got some new tattoos, and she's like, "Oh, there's this huge horse statue in Denver
Yeah, I was
Airport.
gonna
You might
say
see it."
Denver has some weird art. Like it has
Hmm.
that horse statue and it has something else, like some weird
What
murals
was
or
his
something.
name? Denver
I
Airport
don't know. The
horse
Denver Bronco. I don't
statue.
know.
What is it called? Lucifer.
Yes, I knew it was something
Yeah.
because then this has some. They have some other like weird, like very. I want to say, like communist Russian art. Like it's kind of.
Oh.
Um, I think that's Denver. I
Well,
got
I
to get
guess
a pad for
we'll see
this.
it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. We'll get to
Maybe
see,
it's
where
not
the
Denver.
UFOs are stored and all that in Denver. um, I guess I'll go through some comments from our videos so I don't miss them all. Uh, Grams of Pots Vintage said, "Poor Alicia, I hope you feel better before Vegas." Mo, thanks for bringing out the big hair Aquanet poster. Oh man, I was feeling awful when we recorded, but I'm so much better now. I still got like
Oh,
some
yeah, you
throat things,
sound
so I
way
think,
better.
yeah. Oh man, I was watching myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so sick. I'm like,
I
oh,
don't.
and
I watched.
Brian.
I watched the first couple of minutes and last.
Uh-huh.
I only just to make sure everything's like I don't need to cut anything off. I'm like I can't
Uh-huh.
look at myself.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
me
listen to
editing my
myself
own
either.
videos. Yeah, that too. It's hard.
Oh
And
yeah, just to
then
jump
Brian
in,
Klaus,
you have to look up the Denver International Airport mural. It's like it's wild. Anyway, okay.
International
Sorry.
Airport mural.
Yeah, yeah.
If I see any of this, it's definitely gonna go with the travel vlog.
It's like
So,
weird and creepy. Yeah. So,
oh, that
gonna.
is weird.
Uh huh.
What?
Yeah. It's very like
Alrighty.
authoritarian, like
Huh. Yeah, I see that. Wow.
like
Anyways,
depressing. It's very bright colors though. It's weird.
yeah, it's like rainbows and butterflies, but when you actually look at it, it's not.
Yeah, it's like no, it's
Um,
not.
Anyways, Brian
Yeah,
Klaus
sorry.
left a million comments,
Oh
and
gosh, I didn't
he
know.
he he called me out for not liking them, so I had to log into our account and like them all. So I did. Sorry, King Brian. He said one of my favorite reselling channels to watch is a couple in Idaho called the Hoogs. The wife makes corny dad jokes time to time too. Then he said, I find a decent amount of garage sales and quality ones north of you, Mo. I just think the South starts and ends earlier, so it feels like they have more. The whole reason they have highway sales is to bring people out to rural areas.
Yeah. I, I still think it's a different culture. Like with garage sales. I just
Mm-hmm.
it just feels different to me when I watch them there and here. And I know they like up his way and like in New Jersey they'll have like we have like neighborhoods. Like, my neighborhood, I don't know how many houses are in it, 500 houses. And, at the beginning of May, we have the neighborhood sale. And it's like, I've done it once, I don't do it every time. And
Mm-hmm.
like a couple years ago, I went around and it was like two people. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, maybe it's getting bigger. But like the neighborhood sales I go to around here, that's how it is. There's a couple
Mm-hmm.
houses, um, and it's hit or miss. Um, the one I went to, sometimes you go, it's a lot of furniture, sometimes you go, it's a lot of kid stuff. Which, you can get, kid stuff if it's the right stuff, but I don't know. In like in like places in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey, they do these community yard sales. So that would be kind of the equivalent of us doing like maybe a county-wide sale kind of thing. Like it's way bigger scale, So it just, to me, it always feels different. I don't know. I don't know.
I see. I wouldn't know because I only go to one main like radius area for all my garage sales, so I
Yeah.
I really don't know the feeling. I guess unless I go garage selling somewhere else, which I haven't really done.
I mean, I mean, some days I like it ends up being like a lot of driving and then I get tired and I go home, you know? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's great. There's a bunch of things close by, But sometimes it's like, and I'm not in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like suburbs, so it's not rural, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it well, but that's just how I feel. I feel like you watch some of the people in, you know, like Kayla homeschool picker.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like,
Oh, there goes my eye.
she has like I used to get that all the
Uh,
when I was teaching, we'd be like, what's your stress doing to you today?" Somebody would have like a pain in their neck, and I would get like
uh,
the twitchy eye, and nobody, you can't see it. I can't look at you and say it's
yeah,
twitching, but it's twitching.
yeah, it
That's
bugs
how I
me.
know
Oh
it's
man.
it's terrible, and it comes and goes. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah,
A lot. It started yesterday. I think it's because my mind knows like
yeah.
we're gonna be traveling.
Hmm.
Um,
You'll be good. You'll do it. You'll be fine.
yes,
You're gonna have fun.
yes. And then Brian says in Pennsylvania, clothing and accessories don't get taxed except formal apparel, sporting goods,
Right.
and clothing,
Yeah.
handkerchiefs, and real imitation or fur articles.
Yeah. I
I
knew
didn't
it
know that.
was like only like, like high, like certain high end things for clothing. But you don't, I mean, having shopped there, I knew that. But certain things do.
And
So, but from me coming from tax free, I'm like, crap. Back in the days of cash, when when I was a kid and you'd go somewhere else and
like,
you'd
oh,
have your
it's two
money and you're
dollars.
like, oh,
Yeah,
here's $2, and they're like, oh, 58 cents. You're like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then in regards to in our first, I think it's our first random ramblings episode. Yeah, so the one from 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
we talked about when when there's a buyer that doesn't pay or they buy it on accident and say they want to cancel and how
Mhm.
I'll let it sit there so it dings their account.
Yeah.
Brian said letting it sit in until auto cancel does nothing to the buyer and just delays your item being sold. I know because I came across an eBay account that literally had 20 plus feedback that were positive but said things like don't take offer from this buyer, they don't pay, just cancel or relist.
I know that's
But the
crazy to
petty
me.
part in me is like, fine,
That's
it's just gonna. I've had like 3 different
Me
things
too.
happen like that in the past like week, where they're like, "Oh, I bought it on accident," or "Oh,
The
my account was
Right.
hacked." I'm like, "Come on now."
Yeah. Uh, I'm petty like that too, so I mean, unless it was like something that maybe was going to sell for a super lot and they weren't paying and
Hmm.
they said that, I might do it, but otherwise, I mean, it's got to catch up with them at some point, right?
It's annoying.
It should. I mean, eBay needs to get on that, or
And
just,
then,
get on the Insta Pay or whatever, you know?
yeah. And then Kevin says 12, just 3 more to go to outlast most podcasts. Because don't they say like 15?
Oh, is it
Like most
15? I don't know.
podcasts don't get past 15 of them or
Okay, well,
something.
we're gonna get
We're
way
almost,
past
yeah, we're 1 episode away now.
that.
And Brian says, so I got a shout out about my shout out question mark.
Yeah.
And I got some more comments. And then on our second episode of Random Ramblings, that was last week, Matt says, ABC Matt said, "Oh Mo, I wish you can go. Great video, ladies." And then my friend, their name is Fake McName. They said, "I love a good ramble." Then Grams and Pots Vintage said, "All 4 rolls we got from them smelled like smoke bad." They're referring to American Bubble
Oh,
Boy. We
yeah,
talked about
that's
how
weird.
both me and them got
Mhm.
like cigarette smoke smelling bubble wrap.
I wonder,
We sent
you
them an
just
email.
yeah. No,
They said
go
we
ahead.
sent them an email and didn't get a reply, but we did order a new roll. We'll see if it smells the same. If so, I guess we'll be switching to a new vendor. I'm surprised they didn't get back to them because they got back to me within like less than an hour and then
Yeah,
already had shipped out 2 more rolls to me.
yeah. I wonder
So,
where hey, Grams and Pups, you should go. I've taught, like, just about bubble bucks on Instagram. I got an answer, like, immediately.
maybe
That's
they
why I
missed it
messaged them.
or something,
Yeah, I
or
mean, stuff happens. It stinks when people don't get back to you right away, but give them a chance. I just wonder if there was somebody, like, in the whatever their distribution is for you guys out there, or at FedEx, and you guys happen to be in the same FedEx distribution. And somebody was just
that's
going to
possible.
town
Or
on
maybe
their
we're,
chain smoking.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I
I
could think because they're
yeah,
literally just, they're only like about 2.5 hours north of me, like straight north.
yeah.
So
You're probably in the same distribution. Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, because I've never
I
had.
don't
Well,
know.
I had a wet roll, but it was
Mhm.
absolutely pouring, and I just know that was probably FedEx left it out.
I wouldn't even want to deal with that.
It
Like,
was,
nope.
yeah, it was. It's dry now. It was like on the outside. It was like kind of got wet, and a little bit on the tube on the inside.
Hmm.
Pulled the, I dislodged the tube and kind of spread it out. It's dry. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Didn't
Um,
smell, so that's
well, before we get into or should we get into our topic? We're about half an hour in. We haven't gotten to our topic, so I think we should.
Random
We should
Ramblings 3.
yeah. So if you want to mention your idea, then we
Oh,
can
yeah.
talk about it.
So, well, it's just, I didn't post a lot on anywhere this last week, but I did every once in a while. I'd look at my phone and I'd read stuff that pops up, and this isn't pointed to anyone in particular, just anywhere. But, well, first of all, like, I gotta, I gotta get a thing for this. I keep hearing my. I'm sure I'm annoying someone. I just have table and I don't have, like, a pad. I need to get one.
Probably Dave,
Well,
audio snob.
he doesn't listen anymore. He's too busy. The
Yeah.
just and this is just lots of places. Discord, Facebook, just where I see things like this, where people spend a lot of time researching, and you should if you think you have something good, you should research everything because you want to price right. It
Hmm.
shouldn't. most of the time it's not going to take you but a few minutes because you're just, you're going to look it up, you're going to look at solds, you're look at what people are asking now, decide where price it within those things. um and sometimes people think or know that they have something really good and it's a little bit harder to find because it's rare or whatever. um and then sometimes I see people on in these groups and stuff, and they're like, they don't take the advice, and it's just like people, how do I say this, they don't have some, it's not worth $1 million, you know
Mhm.
and they think it is, and they want everybody, I can't find it, I can't, and it's just, it's not something, you know or it might be like something a little different than what's out there, but it's the same kind of thing. It's not a name brand. It's, I see it a lot with like breakables and collectibles. There are things that aren't going to be marked because they were just cheap tchotchkes back in the day, and people collect them, and you might get a few dollars for them, but it's not,
Mhm.
it's not anything great. But people like will spend so much time, and people will tell them to stop spending so much time, just list it. And I guess that was what was on my mind. Um the last like week, I saw a lot of that, you know people spending way too much time looking for something that it's not worth that much, and they're not going to find, and people tell them and they just ignore
Mhm.
advice. Like, if you're going to come somewhere and ask advice, and take some of the advice. I don't know. But anyway, so that was my little rant about it. But like, as far as like, you know how far do you go to research something? how far how long will you spend to research something? After, like, so I'm the kind of person, and I think that's the other reason I kind of focus on that, like people spending too much, is because I can get sucked in, like, because I like
Mhm.
to know everything. But it's like, time is money, and this isn't worth that much. You're going to spend all this time and find out it's worth like less than $20. So, um, but there's lots of tools out there, and for the most part, you shouldn't be spend that long. But how
Mhm.
long do you spend looking for something that you think is, you know, a really good item, or unique, or you know,
Well, for me,
something
it's
that
like,
doesn't have something out there that doesn't have an exact match? I guess that's where I'm going. People look for an exact match, and sometimes you're not going to find
Mhm.
it. You just have to look at the things that are like it and go from there.
So what I do, I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my things I have listed, to see if I have anything that like fits this example.
Hmm.
Um, I really can't find, because a lot of these things I've found them at some degree, whether it's on eBay, or if
Hmm.
someone found a Terapeak listing, or if someone
Right.
found it on WorthPoint or Google Lens. I'm trying to see here, like, for example, I guess my highest priced item in my store right now is 290. It's
Hmm.
a little string of blow mold Halloween lights that I got from that
Yeah.
auction
Hmm.
from the 60s. Um, I couldn't find an exact match because mine has a skull, a pumpkin, and a devil head on it.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
other
those
ones
are
I saw on
super cool.
eBay, yeah, the ones I saw on eBay, I saw one with 3 devil heads, which they have it priced at, like, 3 some ridiculous amount. Some with, 2 pumpkins and a skull, but mine is the only one with, like, 1 of each. So I just priced it about the same as the others because maybe someone wants a certain pattern, or I don't know, but, like, that's just what I did. But it was easy to find comps for this as soon as I did Google Lens, like,
Right.
but
Hmm.
as far as something I have that I couldn't find anywhere else, I haven't found. Oh, I guess I have a pair of these Nike Air Force Ones royal blue. I searched that code that's with it, and I could only find like a really old like Mercari listing where they sold for some ridiculous amount. And I've had them
Yeah.
listed up quite a bit, and like no one's. I've got nothing on them.
Yeah.
So those are my only couple examples, I guess. I mean, that's all I got.
Um, I looked up the example. I don't want to point it out, but it was on a Facebook group and it was like a piece of pottery
Mhm.
and it was signed and it was neat. It was nice. And it was signed and it had like the artist card. They had like the card with the name and they were like going they're like I can't find it anywhere. And I'm like, well, it's just some local guy. He's not a big name. Like, if you can't
Yeah.
find that artist's name anywhere, and then somebody's like, "Well, call the number," and this, that. I'm like, but you're not that. You can call the number, but if you don't see
Like,
his
just
stuff
because it's
selling
signed doesn't
everywhere,
mean
yeah.
yeah, if they're not, like, a
The
well-known
other
artist or something.
right, but the other thing is people will buy it, and it is a good thing, even if it's signed and you don't know who it is. You just put signed. It's signed by the artist, so that you know it's not factory made then, and you put it
Mhm.
out there and people collect unique pottery and they'll buy it. So look at something similar. Stop spending
Mhm.
you know stop spending all this time on something that you're not going to get. It was actually they'd probably get a decent price for it. um
It could also be just, like, inexperience because 'cause they're just like, "Oh, it's signed artwork, that means it's worth a bunch of money."
right.
Like, I don't know, like, if you
Exactly.
find something that's like Thomas Kincaid, like, I find Thomas Kincaid puzzles all the time, doesn't mean they're worth $1,000,000, or, like,
Oh,
artwork or whatever they make of his artwork, you
my
know?
as my mother would say, it's like Thomas Kincaid stuff is like flies on S. Like she's
Yeah,
like
it
that
is.
crap's everywhere. Anyway, yeah, so I was the one that said it on there. I don't usually comment on Facebook, but I kind of was like, you're spending too much time. They're not a well-known artist. Put, you know, um artisan pottery signed and find something like it to get a price. But they kind of completely ignored my answer and just was like somebody else was like call the number and they're like, "Oh, I will." And I don't know what happened with it. I kind of get a
I feel
little
like it's just
frustrated
an
because
experience
people,
thing.
yeah. And I feel like people come on and ask questions and they don't listen. But that's the I have like 20 plus years of teacher trauma that goes with that. So it drives that's why. And then I go, I can't look at Facebook anymore. I can't look at this anymore because I don't know. But like, I mean, there's so many places like, and if you're not finding it, you have to find something that is similar,
Mhm,
like you said. But there's lots of places to look. I mean, you look at solds, you look at, you know, what's, hasn't sold yet, what's out there. You look
mhm,
at if you have an eBay store, you have a subscription to Terapeak. I use that every once in a while. Um, that's helpful. Terapeak's also helpful if a lot of things sell on best offer. If you
mhm.
copy paste the title and put it in Terapeak, it will give you the price it's sold for. So you can find the exact sold price there. Um, and then there's Worth Point, which is you know not worth it for a lot of people, but if you're selling a lot of stuff
If
and
you're
you're
in the
getting
Discord, we might be able to help you
yeah,
out.
yeah, some people are very generous.
Yes.
Like it I think worth if you're selling tons of stuff and you've got a lot of maybe art and higher end stuff and
Or rare stuff.
rare. I mean, I'm sure people with like antique shops and stuff, it's good for them
Mhm.
too. But
Like, I've been coming across at least, a few things a month that I feel that I find a worst point listing for, but I can't find on eBay.
right,
Or,
yeah.
like, found this vintage, like, train notepad thing, and it had, like it's almost like ephemera because it has, like, the calendar at the top, and it's from, like,
Mhm.
the '70s, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, I put it in the Discord, and, Grams actually looked it up for me, and it sold in, like, 2016 for, like I forgot how much, but, of course, I priced it up. But also, actually, a way that that really helped was when I found that Bratz doll at Goodwill for like a couple bucks, and it was
Mhm.
new in the box, and I couldn't find it
Yeah.
anywhere, but there was a listing on WorthPoint that someone else found, but it had last sold in like, I don't know, 2012, 2014 for like
Yeah.
$40. So I put it up for like 150 or something. I
Mhm.
sold it for like
Yeah.
130. It's like
Yeah.
because of that, otherwise I could
Mhm.
have been like, oh, well, it last sold for 40, throw it up. And of course it would have sold probably instantly. Like,
Right, right. So there's a time and a place to kind of, look for that stuff.
and you don't need to do worst point for every single thing either. That's the thing. You
No,
gotta like you gotta like
no,
find that
no,
for
no. But if you don't find it anywhere else, but you do find that worth point link when you're looking, then it's worth a look. If you
hmm
if you have it or know somebody that can hook you up. um I will go back to like looking up and like doing a little more research. Like I I think I mentioned in one of our last podcasts, look, one of the first things when I first came back to reselling, and I got in a thrift shop, and it was like a little cat. It was like 3 inches. It was
hmm
that Lucite cat by that artist, and now I can't remember his name again. But I looked it up, and I mean, there's tons of his stuff out there to find, so it was easy to price and everything.
hmm
Um, but I did, like, sometimes if you just want to know more, I did find, I had the artist's name, so what's his name? Abraham something. Anyway, he
hmm
I did look him up just out of curiosity, and his stuff was selling pretty high. He had just passed away during COVID, and he was older, and he had COVID and everything. So I think,
hmm
it was people that followed him and knew of that and everything were looking for more stuff. So that, if you do know an artist name and you find the artist name, I mean, you put his name in and a bunch of pages pop up. If you put an artist name in that you have and a bunch of stuff doesn't pop up,
hmm
you know, probably not, going to get you super big dollar amounts. So that is something also that you want to look for.
Also if it's someone, like that person on Facebook that wasn't listening and they decided
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm just gonna price it up, they'll learn because it's not gonna sell, at the
Right.
price that they
Mhm.
want.
Yeah.
If
Hmm.
they think, if they're like, oh, I'm not gonna take what you have to say, but
Hmm.
if they want to waste their time, sure, waste your time on looking it up. But
Right.
I feel like that's,
I
as a seller, that's your responsibility
Yeah.
to at some point kind of gauge when you should and shouldn't spend a ton of time looking something
Yeah,
up.
if you're I would say 10. I'm honestly, if you don't come across anything good, a name, websites with the name of like an
hmm
artist or brand or whatever it is you're looking for, or style, whatever, because I saw a lot of breakables, so I'm like thinking artists and that kind of thing, and I'm still on that pottery thing. But whatever
hmm
it is, if I'd say within like a 10-minute span, if you can't find one good thing about it, you know, I mean, the more you get
Like
into
the
it, you might get a
the
gut
chances of
feeling.
it being like $1 million piece
Something,
of art.
yeah, is
Yeah.
is very, very low, because you're gonna find something. You're gonna find a website. You're gonna find a worth point link. You're gonna find it on eBay. You know, um, you just if you don't, and I hate to see people spending hours on something. I mean, I didn't spend hours on that. It was a 99-cent piece. I sold it for $150. It was a 10-minute thing. I mean, he was out there already, but I wouldn't
hmm
spend that much time on just some randos signed pottery piece. It'll probably sell. I sell signed pottery, artisan pottery, or
Like
or
no name pottery or
studio
like
pottery. It's got a signature on it. You don't know what it says, because it's studio pottery. I sell it all the time.
I actually
It
just picked up a piece
sells.
just like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
It
it's very interesting.
sells.
It's got like it's tan and it's got like it looks
Mhm.
like it went through a house fire. Like it's
Yeah.
like charred looking and I love it. I'm like, "Ooh, I kind of
That's
want to keep
called
it."
raku. That's called raku.
How do
That
you spell
stuff
that?
sells. Raku. That stuff sells so, like, I've found a couple of raku pieces. They always sell well and
Oh,
fast.
yep, it looks a lot like that, but it's got a lot
Yep.
more, like, detail, but yes, it looks a
Yeah.
lot like
Well,
that.
it comes in all
Oh,
shapes
thank
and
you, I didn't know
sizes, but
that.
they fire it like that, and that's how it looks.
I love
You can have,
pottery.
yeah. Yeah. So raku does doesn't matter who's like. I actually found a piece by like a famous raku artist. It was small. It didn't sell for a whole lot, but I think I got like 40
Mhm.
plus bucks out of it, you know? And it was a
Looking
cool
it up now.
colors. It had gold and like a kind of a metallic green. Yeah. But yeah, raku sells well. Now see, what I also think of is people think they're just, they're going to find this gem in the. I don't know if you've ever watched. I watched this channel. It wasn't one we mentioned, but it's called Curiosity
Mhm.
Inc. You ever watch that? He's
Mm-mm.
in he's in
I might have heard of
Edmonton.
it, though.
Yeah, it was pretty big because like a year or two ago, like during COVID, he he had an antique shop. I don't think he has a store anymore, but he big part of what he does is he buys out, like, or he started buying out like hoarders houses, and he started filming it.
Mhm.
So he's like in Canada, like in Edmonton, like you think it snows all the time where you are. It's like, I think it snows like 10 months out of the year up there. I don't know how
Uh-huh.
anybody lives there. But anyway, so he bought this hoarder. Well, he got invited to come and pick a hoarder house. The family was like, we don't, just come. They knew of him or whatever. So he goes to pick it. And there's lots and lots of awesome stuff there that he can sell. So he offers them to buy out the house.
Mhm.
And he's kind of, if there's anything like personal or, like he'll give it back. Anyway, he finds out that this woman was like a pretty famous potter, like she's pottery artist. And
Mhm.
she did pottery in um like I guess like native Inuit, like how the natives did it, Inuits did it, like, she dig a hole.
Oh,
Like
okay.
she had a potter shed in her yard, and there was like the fire hole in the backyard. It was this whole thing. And the family did not think any of her good stuff was in there. Well, I mean,
Oh,
when I say
wow.
this place was hoarder, it was filled to the brim. And he found so much of her stuff. He found other people's stuff. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people think that they're, they saw that and they think they're gonna to find, I
Mhm.
forget, her name was Mary something. He actually met her. She was still alive when he was doing this. And he had like interviews from her up and everything. But yeah, so I think people think, "Oh, I'm gonna find something like that." But like most studio pottery, like I said, it'll sell. It'll sell. But don't spend a lot of time on it. If you don't find the artist's
Mhm.
name and you can't identify the artist's signature on there, you know, right away, time is money. Look for something comparable, price it in that range of what's selling, and get to the next one. That's how I feel. Anyway, I I guess
No, and that
this
kinda
was in my head because it kind of frustrated me. It frustrated me a little bit.
kinda brings up my appreciation for pottery. Like,
Mhm.
I liked pottery. I
Mhm.
was a big art, like, I tried to take all the art classes in high
Yeah.
school,
Mhm.
and, so I liked artwork, but now, like, as a reseller, I've also found an appreciation for that kind of artwork, even if it's just
Mhm.
I come across a random piece of Goodwill and,
Right.
it's got a
Mhm.
signature and it looks cool, I might
Yeah,
pick it up. It might
exactly.
be a pain in the butt to ship, but I also just enjoy selling stuff like that. I've sold
Yeah.
tons of pottery pieces, or there's even there's, this company in Colorado, and I came across one of their mugs, but they usually have one, and it has, like, a giant fish on it, but it's a pottery mug, and there's
Oh,
usually a stamp on
yeah.
the bottom.
I
It's like
think
Colorado
seen stuff like
some
that before. Yeah.
some
Mhm.
weird, like, yeah, but, I'll come across that and I'll be like, "Oh," I'll pick
Mhm.
it up. I picked
Yeah.
up this one and it sold for like 25 bucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and it's fun, and now that you told me the name of that pottery, which I found something that looks really similar, now
Mhm.
I know what it's
Yeah,
called, so I have a
it's
keyword. Because otherwise I was just gonna call it, like, black and white burnt pottery studio, like, I would've
yep.
just used stuff like that. Now I know, because but there's all types of as I'm
There's
scrolling here, I'm finding all
uh
types of, like, kinds of
Oh yeah, there's all like, cuz like I said, the first one I found, it's funny. The only reason I knew it was raccoon was because I watched Crazy Lamp Lady, and she had found some, and I was like, I picked her up. I was
Oh.
like, this is raccoon, and it was a pretty known potter. Like you could tell his
Mhm.
signature. Um, like, and again, I was able to find. I looked his signature. You could tell what it was. I found it. It was all within like a 10-minute period. So it sold for pretty well, and it sold pretty fast, and it had cool
Mhm.
colors. So, but yeah, but raccoon in general will just sell because I've sold other pieces that weren't anybody.
Yeah, I actually found this other piece I thought was pretty interesting. It was like a bowl, but it had like three
Mhm.
tubes in the middle of it just sticking up. I was like, oh, is it like a weird like incense holder? Because it had like a little hole at the bottom of the tubes. Oh, I
Mhm.
found out it's actually like a flower
Oh,
holder.
like a flower
Like you
frog
stick,
kind of
yeah,
thing. Mhm.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. So you put the flowers in it, and I guess you fill the bottom with water. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, that's kind of
You
cool. I
stick
was
it
like,
in
oh,
there. Mhm.
my first thought was incense because there's all kinds of pottery things for incense, but
Mhm. Mhm.
um, so I found that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Found some like nesting apple bowls, like super cheap. Over here, I think people just don't have as much appreciation for pottery, so I find a lot of it pretty cheap. But it also depends on the
Mhm.
piece. Like I found this really big piece I thought was cool. I'm like, I don't want to ship it. It was
Yeah.
huge. Like it was gonna be an upcharge to ship with
Oh, okay.
USPS
Yeah.
for sure.
Oversized.
Or
That's
whatever.
that's
But
hard. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a big vase. And yeah, I could have maybe made a few, 100 or more, but I'm trying to limit myself with oversized stuff now because I'm like, it
Right.
sits and I like it's too much space. I'd rather get 10 smaller items instead of one huge item like
I
that. It depends though. It
It
depends on
depends on it. Like I bought this was like last spring, and then when I listed them
Mhm.
they sold pretty quick. They were, big nesting mixing bowls. They were false graph, and they're
Mhm.
like they were just, I forget what pattern they were called, but they were all like cream white, and I got them from like an online auction. I lot, but
Mhm.
I picked them up specifically for that because they are becoming like false graph pieces are becoming a little more popular again, like some of the older
Mhm.
things, and the bigger stuff like the serving and those bowls, they sell pretty well. So I got them for like $2, and I sold them for like I think I think I had them for 80 and I took 70 or something like that. 85
Mhm.
took 75. But I packed them, shipped them. I fit them in a, they didn't go oversized, but I packed them really well and they went off. I don't mind packing stuff like that if it's gonna, make me a decent amount. So that's the only reason I bought them. So don't overlook that stuff. If you're not afraid,
Mhm.
if you don't want to ship it, you don't want to ship it. But I made a pretty penny on that stuff. Um,
Speaking of pretty penny, have you made any like good sales? Like have any bolos for
no,
anybody?
no, I haven't sold anything. I sold one thing this weekend for like $10. That's it. And I haven't listed enough. When I leave, when
I
we're
didn't know
done
if you had
here,
anything
I'm
before
gonna
or
list.
within the couple weeks that we haven't
No, because we no, I only had I don't even know what I sold a few more things that week before I shut my store off, and nothing that I can think of that was any that was I probably already talked about what I sold because we did it
mhm.
and then I left,
Yeah, okay, okay. Well, I have a couple.
because when did
I,
we record? Thursday? I left Friday
something like that.
or Wednesday? Yeah,
It feels like months ago for some
or I
reason
left
to me.
Saturday
My
morning.
perception of time is really weird, but um sold my first mesh snake belt from that auction
Oh
by
yeah, those are cool.
$75, and that was
You
just one.
know,
That was my first one.
those were nice. I
Mhm.
I
I'm
had
just surprised no
something
one else
very
picked them up.
similar. I had
Mhm.
something very similar, and I'm sure it was a cheapo version, but they were popular when I was a kid, like in middle and high school, and I had one.
Mhm.
I had it wasn't like real golden, it was super shiny, but I had a belt. It was a belt. Those are
This was
cool.
actually one with the Target tag still on it, like an old Target tag.
I know. I
So this was a
those.
cheaper one. I
I
have
wonder.
some other ones that are
Do you
over a
know
hundred
when that?
dollars.
When I wonder when the last time Target had tags like that.
Target
I mean, they look
tags
like tags when
history.
I worked in retail when I was in college. Those are the kind of tags that were around,
Yeah, it
on
was
in
like printed
stores,
out Target,
like the
no logo.
90s, um before like
Yeah, I have no idea.
barcode
It was
scanning, cuz
old.
before like barcode scanning.
Mhm. Yeah. So, and it even had like the size written on each tag. So there's different links.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
so that was cool. So I got the first one sold. I haven't sold any others, but I do have one that is like
Well,
silver
you made your money
plated or
back though,
silver
right?
something. Yeah, I made my money back. Like I've already
You're
done
in
that.
profit.
Yep. And then there another exciting one that was like a quick flip off Facebook Marketplace. Someone advertised a Coach branded like cherry like bag tag, like a keychain looking thing, but it was
Oh
heavy,
yeah.
big
Mhm.
cherry thing. $15. I look it up and it looks like that style. There's different styles of cherry Coach keychains or whatever. This one I guess sold for around 60,
Are they
but I
actually
ended up selling.
like cherries? Like it looks like
Yeah, they're like
like
big cherries
metal,
with like
big
yep.
cherries.
It was heavy when I picked it up. So I
Mhm.
got for 15, sold it for 59, free ship.
Nice.
Um within like less than a week.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of stuff. I if you watch my YouTube video, I'm sure you'll see most of this stuff, but oh, and I found this necklace at actually the day I went to the Oddities Festival. I found this necklace. And it said West Germany on it, but I didn't notice it said that until after I left. I just saw it had some sort of writing inside. I was like, I'll grab it.
Mhm.
Ended up selling for 75.
I was gonna say West Germany, like vintage, like West Germany
It was
is
really
usually
cool.
pretty good, from what I've
And it was
heard.
like
I never.
3D and it had a lot of depth to it. It had a lot of
Mhm.
detail and I was like, ah,
Yeah.
it
Nice.
looks like an expensive piece. So I'll pick it up. And
Mhm.
luckily that went well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, been getting rid of stuff, which is good, but my trailer's getting pretty full. Kinda going overboard with sourcing, but, like,
Well, that's okay,
I've been
like because
listing.
it's garage sale season. You gotta pick it up
Yep,
now while it's hot. Then you
yep.
have stuff for even if you have a little bit of a death pile, you have stuff for when there's no sales.
I've already got one started, even stuff
Yeah.
that's a little bit harder to get, and,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all I got. I don't have
Yeah.
much updates or anything like that,
That was my vacation brain rant. That's all I had.
um,
Don't spend too much time sourcing and listen to other people. So, if you ask
yes.
advice.
Listen to your peers.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it seems
But
to be that way with at least with any advice, it feels like as a reseller, it's kinda like, "Eh." There's all kinds of people that will ask for advice and won't listen.
yeah.
Me included with my husband sometimes.
Oh yeah, well that's a different story. I do that too.
He
I'm
doesn't
like,
listen to this, so he
uh
won't call me out.
mine won't either. But I'll tell him to his face. Well, he doesn't listen to me and I don't listen to him, so this goes both ways sometimes. I'm like, I told you.
Well, anyways, that's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
We're almost to an hour, so
Yeah, and you gotta
do I
go
have
get.
anything else to yeah, I gotta finish cleaning, I gotta start packing, I gotta like I said, record that video with the glass negatives. I've been wanting to. I've been really excited to like dig through that
Yeah, that's
box.
awesome.
I'm like, I need to get that done and maybe have it posted while we're gone or at some
That
point. So that way it's just kind of,
my to-do list is to get some video up too because I have some like
yeah.
other YouTube, regular other channel, my channel.
And
So
actually,
I'm behind. I haven't even watched yours. I didn't watch any YouTube this week.
I've been playing catch up on my YouTube. I just got an
I
iPad.
didn't
I
watch
bought an
any.
iPad and, I like moved my YouTube account over. So now when I'm at my listing table, I'll have my iPad
Mhm.
playing YouTube while I list.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
usually I
I
couldn't because
well,
I had my phone.
mhm.
So,
Yeah. I usually watch when I list.
Mhm.
But
So I'm caught up to today, but of course, like there's like
I'm
four
not.
different videos that just released this morning, so
I'm way
gotta watch
behind.
all those. Oh, and actually, speaking of recording, my husband got the GoPro out. It's an old one. It's like a
Okay.
Hero 3 or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
And I was just scrambling to try to find a harness for it. I didn't want to wear
Mhm.
a chest harness. I feel kind of weird about wearing those. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I wanted like a bag clip one. Like I
Yeah.
could clip it to my backpack.
Mhm.
Um, well, I found out that my parents, they also have a GoPro, but it's actually the Hero 3. But like the parts are compatible, so I'm gonna see if I can borrow my dad said I could borrow it, and I'm hoping it works because we have like no time to get a harness or anything for
Right.
it. And so hopefully in Vegas, because we're trying to plan like a morning of garage sales with some people. So I was
Mhm.
hoping maybe go. I feel fine having a GoPro if a bunch of other people do, but if it's just me
Right, yeah.
going to a garage sale,
Mhm.
because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
we're all going to be recording, so like I'm going to be part of it, with them.
That's
So
the way to dip your toe in is with other
I'm not going to get
people.
singled out, and be like, why are you recording?
Yeah.
So so I'm hoping that works. So then we'll get some garage sale content, which would be fun. And I just
Mhm.
went to this huge sale. I'm like, I wish I would have like gotten the GoPro ready before that because this one sale, like everything's $1, and I got so much good stuff. And I wish I would have recorded, but I circled around that whole thing probably like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like I went and made a mad dash for the jewelry and the purses, got all the good stuff, and then just circled
Mhm.
around and kept getting more and more and more and more. So, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, guess
Well,
I'll see y'all
you
when you get
are
back from
gonna have
Vegas.
fun. Have fun.
Yes,
I want to
I
hear
will.
all about it. See all about it.
I'll make a big travel vlog. Hopefully. I'm weird about recording in front of people because I put on like I have this voice that I do when I'm recording, and
Uh-huh.
I find it hard to talk that way when I'm in front of people. I can only do it when I'm alone. Because even my husband could be in the other room, and I'm like I can't do it. I have to be like alone. So I'm
Really?
like I
So
want
what
to
do you
record
sound
it.
like
Yeah.
normally?
No, I mean this is how I normally am, but on the
Yeah.
video I'm a little more
You're
like
just like
upbeat.
focused and
Yep.
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you
Kind of
mean.
like when you have to make a
I
speech,
didn't know
you
if
kind of
you
have
had
that.
a radio voice, you
No,
know.
no, 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 no. It's just I have to
I'm
like
like
really think and like get into it. It's like doing a speech like in high school. It's like that,
okay.
but
Okay.
if I know someone can hear me doing it, like talking, I'm like yeah, like if I'm talking to myself to a camera, I can talk to like you or
Right.
anybody else just fine. But
Okay.
if it's
I
me
see what
talking
you
to
mean.
myself on a camera,
Talking to yourself. Yeah, that is
yeah.
weird. I will give you that. Yeah, that's what I'm. Okay, I get it now. Yeah.
Yes, no. And like I tried doing it the other day and my husband was in the other room. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, can you go like go somewhere else for a little bit? Like I'm gonna go outside and
Yeah, I know.
so anyways, like I want to record like when we're on Fremont Street or whatever, but I'm like,
Mhm.
if I'm gonna be around all these people and in public, like I'm like, I don't know if I can
Look,
do that, but
they're
we'll see.
they're all they're all going to be doing this. So you won't feel weird.
I might feel included.
Everybody
So
else will be doing it, I guarantee you.
now I'm gonna have to watch everyone else's YouTube videos, like see what angle they got of everyone else. It's gonna be like
Yeah.
a whole circle.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah. All right. Well,
All right. Well, have fun and
I will.
I will talk to you soon. And yeah. And everyone else have a great weekend. Whether you're going
Yes.
to somewhere or you're just going to sales like I will be. I hopefully I find millions of dollars of things I posted up while you people are at Trash Cash.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably won't be anything out there.
You never know.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All
All right,
right.
y'all.
All
We'll
right.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Uh,